Joining us this morning from the Oil Creek and Titusville Railroad, it's Cheri Porter. Hi, Cheri. How are you?
Good morning. I'm good, thanks. How about you?
Great. Good to see you this morning.
Thank you.
Boy, people get excited about the summer months, and obviously there's a lot going on. We're going to talk a lot about what's going on this summer, but May seems to be like a really busy time for everybody, including the railroad, with school tours and just all sorts of things going on. Let's kind of recap what happened this month.
So, although we are not officially open until June 14th, we did start May. We had our first murder mystery, which was well attended, and everybody had a really good time. Everybody leaving was laughing and smiling, and the people that won their gifts were, kind of dancing their way out the door. So that was an excellent thing. And then, like you said, we did start with our school tours. So the school tours for spring are done. We were fortunate enough to host 13 different schools.
Wow.
Most all of them, everybody this time was from Pennsylvania. No out-of-staters this time. Last year we had some, I think, from Ohio and New York. And we ended up with a total of, 608 people.
Wow.
So break that into 6 days. That's 100 people a day. So works out well.
So do you have to, is that like a coordination with Drakewell, or is that a completely separate thing?
So some of them do coordinate their visits. So some of them will come in and they will start down at Drakewell with Sarah and her volunteers down there, do a tour of the grounds. And then they meet us at the platform. We pick them up there and take them southbound. Some of them will do just a one-way trip. Their bus will then meet them at Wren Farm. Others will do a full round trip, come back, and we'll drop them back off at Drakewell. Others of them will get on at Drakewell, do the train trip first, and then go meet Sarah and her crew after and do the tour. And so, we try to coordinate it, so that they can do both events. I mean, it's a very cost-effective event for the schools because Drakewell is fortunate enough to have funding. They can help cover the free passes for the students, I believe. They also do free busing and stuff like that. We are fortunate enough that when we participate in Crawford Gives, that money that we generate from that goes directly into our student line. So the students don't pay, most of the time do not pay to ride the train and stuff like that. So we try to work very well together so that really the only cost they have is maybe the adults that are with the groups and stuff like that.
That's great. Do you ever get anybody that says, maybe they they come to Drakewell, but they're not doing the train, and then they look and see the train come through and pick up other, schools, and they go, "Oh, wow,
we didn't know we could do that."
Yeah.
Yes. Yep. Sarah will tell you that they have quite a few people that are like, "Can we do that too?" And so she's like, "Yep," and she gives them the office number, and so they make contact with us, and so hopefully the following spring we get them in. So
that's great, because that's one of my favorite trips. When I look back at all the field trips we took in school, my favorite was Drakewell and the train ride and the picnic and all of that. It was so cool.
I'll take your word for it because my school didn't take us there. So one more thing for you guys to pick on because I didn't go to Titusville schools.
But it is, again, if you're a neighboring school and you've got schools that come, hours away, and that makes it a very effective trip, doesn't it? When you can kind of add both elements to it.
Yes. Last year we had students that came from Du Bois up and did Drakewell first and then got on the train and, did the round trip with us and then, bussed back to Du Bois. And we had another group that was from fairly far away. I just don't remember where they were, but I want to say they were up in New York State somewhere.
Oh, wow.
And so, they came down and did both events as well. So
that's great. Is that just something that if a school district's interested in for next year, they can call you at the office and get that information?
Absolutely.
Okay.
And we're actually getting ready to put together our information for our fall school trips because the kids can do school trips in May and in October. So we're getting ready to put the letters together to send out to invite them for October if they want to do that. And then, of course, once we get towards the end of the season, November, December, we'll probably send out information for May and stuff like that.
But what a great time to go, October.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. And is that limited? So, like, if you're a school district interested in that, you should probably call sooner rather than later?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, so busy month.
Yes.
Mother's Day, did you guys do a?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We did Mother's Day. It was a sold-out train. And we were fortunate enough that our treats for the mothers came from Ice House Bakery over in Conneaut Lake. And they were an absolute hit. Everybody really enjoyed them. And so now I have to figure out what to do for the fathers to, keep it even. So that's on today's to-do list. So,
Well, yeah, now we get into June and the summer months.
Yes.
What happens here in June?
So June, we start officially with the season on June 14th. And there will be other events taking place at the station before the train season actually opens. We will be having a group in hosting an open mic night that will be held in the front half of Perry Street Station. Those will be on Thursday nights from 5:30 to 8, 5 to 8.
Something like that.
Yes. So anyway, they will be there.
You haven't regretted that yet?
No, absolutely not. So, but anyway, so those will be there starting Thursday the 5th, and then our season officially opens on June 14th, and we will run every weekend in June, Saturdays and Sundays. On June 15th should be Father's Day, so dads ride for $10 with the purchase of another ticket. And like I said, we're working on the treats for Dad to, kind of keep it even with the cakes that Mom's got for Mother's Day.
Wow.
So we're working on that.
You should do like golf balls, like Oil Creek and Titusville Railroad golf balls. That's a little pricey.
Yeah. One of the girls that we do travel shows with actually did fishing bobbers.
Oh, yeah.
And I thought, well, that's kind of a unique thing, but, we'll see what we come up with.
You could do that for the Oil Creek Classic.
There you go. So, and we forgot to mention that in May.
Yeah.
We hosted their Rotary's charter for their community day. So that was another sold out train that we had in May.
Wow.
So yeah, we had a busy month of May. But yeah, so June, we will also have another murder mystery dinner, and we will have our first wine tasting train. So first wine tasting train, I believe, is on June 6th, and then murder mystery should be June 21st.
And tickets are available for both?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay. Again, call ahead.
Yes.
Get your tickets in advance.
Yep.
Sidetracked Winery will be there June 6th.
Yes. And this is their first visit for the wine train, so...
What's that conversation like? That's got to be interesting, like... Really? On a train? Yeah, we'll be there.
Pretty much, yeah. You summed it up. So yeah, I have the pleasure of doing that every year. I try to pick different wineries from different areas and bring them in, but try to keep them fairly local within the area and stuff like that. And when I first broached the topic, they're like, really? On a train? Well, it's moving. And I'm like, yes. And then they're like, well, that sounds kind of fun. And so, yeah. Yeah.
That's great. And for the murder mystery, again, if you are just looking for a really good time, here's a shot. This is everybody back at the station. Boy, that looks like it's just an incredible event.
Yes. Yep. They all seem to have a really good time with it.
And they come from all over the place to
Yes.
enjoy these.
Yep.
That's fantastic. All right. So sign up and have some fun.
Yes, please.
So, again, there's a lot of events happening in June. I would imagine, May being so busy, volunteers are extremely important.
Absolutely.
Are you in need of volunteers?
Always, always,
Okay.
always. So yes, we are trying to get together some individuals that are interested in volunteering. We would like to put together a training and get them, in comfortable with the trained and ready to go, so that come October, we've got a group that's comfortable being on the train all the time. But we are always, always, always looking for new volunteers. And if it's somebody that doesn't really want to be out dealing with the public, if you are more maintenance minded, if you are more landscaping minded, please call me. I'm willing to take any help I can get.
Would people be surprised how much goes into it?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
And that seems like any volunteer position that you would have available, more to it than what you might think. And you can put in as much as you'd like to as well. So
yes. And that's just it. I have one of my volunteers who comes in and he is here almost every train ride that we do. And I am very, very fortunate to have him and very blessed to have him as part of our crew. But some days I feel like it's more of a job to him than it is a volunteer experience. And so his grandson is now playing college baseball. And so he has already given me the schedule. I will not be here on these days. And I'm like, okay, we got this. But, it would just be nice to have enough of a group that, not everybody had to be there every train ride. So...
Okay. But if you're thinking, boy, that sounds like it would be a lot of fun, chance to help, chance to be involved, they can call you and
absolutely
meet with you and have that conversation.
Absolutely, yes.
Okay. Anything else in June? I say anything else, that's like boom, boom, boom. There's so much happening there.
I think that covers June pretty well.
Okay.
So
we're going to get into July where you have a really cool thing towards the end of the month. But let's do this first. You're watching The Morning Drill on Stream TV and on the Armstrong Neighborhood Channel. Cheri Porter with us here this morning and talking about the Oil Creek and Titusville Railroad. Again, folks coming up, visiting. Great place to stay at the Caboose Motel.
Absolutely.
If it's not booked.
Right. Yes.
It fills up quickly, but call and spend some time. Some great things going on. I thought this was really cool. I know you talked about it before with the tiki train, but riding the rails with wagging tails.
Yes.
This is cool.
Yes. So we have worked with this group from Slippery Rock University. It is one of their master's program cohorts, and they come up with their crisis response dogs. And they develop activities that they do in each one of the cars. So kids can go from car to car, deal with the different dogs and stuff like that. So it's kind of a two-sided thing. It is allowing these people to understand that there are crisis response dogs trained locally that could respond in case of an emergency. But it also is a training experience for the dogs because most of them never have the experience of being on a train until they get dispatched to some place like Washington, D.C. or the big metro areas that have rail service and stuff like that. And the first time these dogs are on the train, it's kind of like this overwhelming experience for them. By bringing them up here, this gives them the chance to kind of get the concept of the sounds, the noises, the feel of being on the train. So it works out well for both sides of it. And they're a great group to work with, and we always end up with such an assortment of dogs, and the people just love it. So it's a really great thing.
That's fantastic. And again, that's coming up the end of July, but there's so many things happening before that.
Yes.
Kind of run through the rest of the summer and what's on the agenda.
All right. July starts our Wednesdays, Saturdays, and Sundays for the season, and that will run through August. July, we will have our Veterans and Military Recognition Train. That is on July 5th. So again, veterans and active military ride for $10 with the purchase of another ticket. So then we will also have our second wine tasting train, and that one is July 11th. And then we will also have our third murder mystery for the season, and it is going to be on July 19th? 16th. I can't read my lines because I don't have my glasses on. But anyway, yes, so we will have our third murder mystery, and then on the 26th of July, we will have our Christmas in July, where Santa and Mrs. Claus ride the train while they're on vacation. And again, always, Santa has to have gifts for the kids. So the elves have been busy putting those together already and stuff like that. So
was it December you had the Santa runs going on?
November,
December. Can I just tell you how magical that experience was? You walk into the Perry Street Station, you got a Christmas tree, presents it was so cool.
Yes.
Yeah, it was just awesome. So
Yeah. So July, we tried to do the same thing. No Christmas tree. It's all palm trees
Yeah.
and, fun stuff like that. So it's more about Santa being on vacation than it is being Christmas, really. But so.
Well, and I think what I'm getting is before you even step on the train, it's like as soon as you walk into Perry Street Station, you're just kind of hit with like nostalgia, and you just think about, again, growing up, playing with trains and, that whole thing.
And that's what we want you to do.
Yeah.
We want to make you recall those memories, but we want to help you create those for the future generations. So
That's great. And a lot of times too, I know we talk about this a lot, Cheri, but we talk about, these upcoming events that are months down the road because these things do sell out quickly.
Yes.
So again, if you're thinking, boy, that sounds like fun, make those plans and get it taken care of because they do sell out quickly.
right. And just for example, we've already got 2 days in October that first class is already sold out. So, I mean, we're not kidding when we say that, they go early.
Yeah, and don't be afraid to think, oh, that's down the road. They don't want to hear from me because there are things that people say, don't call yet. We're not ready for it.
Right. And
not the case here.
No, absolutely. We want you to call early. We want you to make sure you've got those seats. I talked to somebody the other day that was looking to do a group tour in August, maybe. And I said, okay, let's get all your tentative information. I said, because it's easier for me to take your information and hold those seats for you. And if it doesn't work out, you can call me back and say, I'm sorry, we're not going to be able to do this. Then it is for you to call me when we're closer to that event and say, I need 40 seats. And I'm like, sorry, I don't have 40. So, we would much rather have somebody call us early. And we always try to tell them, overestimate what you think your group size is going to be. If you think you're only going to get 25 people, estimate for 40, because it's easier, again, for me to hold those seats and then you to need fewer, and then I can release the extra seats that you're not using, as opposed to try to figure out how to squeeze more people in after the train is full. So
I don't want to jinx anything, but it sounds like this is shaping up to be another exceptional year.
I certainly hope so, yes.
Yeah, and you're well on your way to what, the 1 millionth rider?
Yes, we are. I looked yesterday, and we are at 868,000 plus.
Wow.
So,
boy, that's going to be exciting.
Yes.
That's great. All right. Now, before you hit that number, you got to welcome more folks in, and lots of opportunities to do that. Folks can go to the website, the Facebook page, and get the calendar of events. August, real quick, I know there's with Oil Fest and the anniversary of Colonel Dre. There's so much that's going on.
Right.
August is also a busy month for you.
Yes. So August, we have our speeder group that comes in, and they offer runs during Oil Fest. So they will arrive Friday night. They will do runs Saturday morning and Saturday evening. That is the one weekend out of the season, the main season, where we adjust the train ride. It gets bumped back to 1 o'clock to give the speeders time to do their ride in the morning and their ride in the evening without. And we also do it because we don't want to conflict with the parade uptown and that type of thing. So, but yeah, so the speeders will go out at 9 a.m., train at 1, and speeders again at 6 that weekend. So that'll also be our last wine tasting, August 15th, maybe. That's a Friday. And that will be Twisted Vine out of Kane. And then we will have 2 murder mysteries the last 2 Saturdays in August. So, yeah.
That's fantastic. I saw, I know you do such a great job at promoting the events happening in the region.
That's JC, not me.
Well, but you as in, the OC&T
Right.
Railroad. But it's also cool when local businesses also say, hey, how can we help, you?
Yep.
And, I think Oars Brewing did something special.
Yes, they are going to be our host for our Taps on Tracks, which I forgot, which is the first Friday in August.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Okay. And I think they've got something, if you bring in your train ticket, they'll give you a percentage off or something like that. So, again, it's really cool synergy with what's going on. And that's why I think you're always, you're involved in so much Cheri,
try.
just you, but yeah, it's great. All right, if folks have questions, want more information, how do they find you?
So you can check us out at www.octrr.org. You can check out our Facebook at Oil Creek and Titusville Railroad, or you can give us a call at the office at 814-676-1733.
Cheri, good to see you this morning.
Thank you, sir.
Busy time, the
Yes.
Oil Creek and Titusville Railroad.
Yes.